Most people never realize this. Ignoring certain people is not weakness, it is power, because the person who can control your reaction can control your emotions, and the person who can control your emotions can control your energy. Most people spend years giving that power away. They explain themselves to people who are committed to misunderstanding them. They defend themselves against people who don't care about the truth. They react to criticism, drama, and disrespect as if every attack deserves a response. But what if your reaction is exactly what gives other people power over you? What if the strongest response is no response at all? What if silence is not weakness, but one of the most powerful psychological tools you can ever learn? Today, you'll discover 7 powerful lessons about attention, silence, emotional control, and the hidden psychology of ignoring people. And by the end of this video, you may never react to certain people the same way again. But what if your reaction is exactly what gives other people power over you? What if the strongest response is no response at all? What if silence is not weakness, but one of the most powerful psychological tools you can ever learn? Today, you'll discover 7 powerful lessons about attention, silence, emotional control, and the hidden psychology of ignoring people. And by the end of this video, you may never react to certain people the same way again. The first lesson is simple. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Most people protect their money. They protect their possessions. They protect their reputation. But very few people protect their attention. And yet attention is the foundation of everything. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Every time you obsess over a critic, every time you replay an argument in your head, every time you spend hours thinking about someone who upset you, you are paying with your energy. And the frightening part is that many people know exactly how to exploit this. Some people don't want your friendship. They don't want understanding. They don't want peace. They simply want access. Access to your thoughts, access to your emotions, access to your attention. The moment they get it, they gain influence over your inner world. This is why emotionally intelligent people become extremely selective. Not everyone gets a response. Not everyone gets an explanation. Not everyone gets access. Because they understand a powerful truth. Attention is currency, and not everyone deserves to be paid. The second lesson is this. You do not owe everyone an explanation. Many good-hearted people struggle with this. They assume that if they explain themselves clearly enough, people will understand. But some people have already decided not to understand. They are not listening. They are judging. They are looking for weaknesses. They are searching for something to criticize. And every explanation becomes another opportunity for them to twist your words. Psychology calls this confirmation bias. People often search for evidence that supports what they already believe, not evidence that changes their mind. That's why endless explanations rarely work. The more you explain, the more trapped you become. Soon you're defending your intentions, then your decisions, then your character, and before long you're exhausted. Meanwhile, the other person has invested almost nothing. This is why emotionally strong people know when to stop talking. Not because they are arrogant, not because they don't care, but because they recognize when communication is no longer productive. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. The third lesson is one that most people never learn. Silence creates psychological tension. Human beings are wired for closure. We want answers. We want certainty. We want to know where we stand. When someone reacts exactly as expected, the brain relaxes. The pattern is complete. But when someone remains silent, the brain keeps searching. What happened? Why didn't they respond? Do they care? Are they angry? Did they move on? The unanswered question becomes an obsession. This is why silence often feels more powerful than confrontation. An argument gives closure. Silence creates mystery, and mystery is difficult for the human mind to ignore. This doesn't mean you should use silence as a manipulation tactic. It means you should understand its psychological impact. You don't need to win every argument. Sometimes refusing to participate is the real victory. The fourth lesson is the hidden power of emotional control. Most people believe strength means reacting, fighting back, defending yourself, proving people wrong. But true emotional strength often looks very different. Imagine someone insults you. The average person immediately feels the need to respond. But why? Because their emotional state has become dependent on external approval. Someone else pushed a button, and they reacted automatically. Real power begins when you break that pattern. When someone criticizes you, and you remain calm. When someone provokes you, and you remain centered. When someone tries to pull you into chaos, and you stay focused. At first, this feels unnatural. Your ego wants to defend itself. Your pride wants to fight back. Your emotions demand action. But every time you choose control over reaction, you become stronger. You teach yourself that not every feeling requires a response, and that realization changes everything. The fifth lesson is knowing who deserves access to your energy. Not everyone belongs in your inner circle. Not everyone deserves your time. Not everyone deserves unlimited emotional access. One of the biggest mistakes people make is treating every relationship the same. They give their deepest energy to people who contribute very little to their lives. They invest heavily in relationships that constantly drain them, and then they wonder why they feel exhausted. Pay attention to the people around you. Who leaves you feeling stronger? Who leaves you feeling drained? Who respects your boundaries? Who ignores them? Who celebrates your growth? Who feels threatened by it? The answers reveal everything. Psychology shows that our environment influences our emotional state far more than we realize. The people around you shape your thoughts, habits, confidence, and even your self-image. This is why protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's necessary. Your peace is valuable. Treat it that way. The sixth lesson is building the armor of indifference. Indifference is often misunderstood. People think it means becoming cold, emotionless, disconnected. But healthy indifference means something completely different. It means deciding what deserves emotional significance. Not every criticism matters. Not every opinion matters. Not every judgment matters. When you stop treating every external event as a personal emergency, your life becomes dramatically easier. Imagine carrying a shield. Every insult hits the shield. Every criticism hits the shield. Every attempt to provoke you hits the shield. You still see it, you still hear it, but it no longer reaches your core. This is emotional resilience, and it can be developed. The more secure you become internally, the less dependent you become on external validation. Eventually, something remarkable happens. People lose the ability to manipulate you. Because manipulation requires emotional leverage. And emotional leverage only exists when someone controls your reactions. When your peace comes from within, that leverage disappears. The final lesson is perhaps the most powerful of all. Not every battle deserves your participation. Think about how much energy people waste every day. Arguments, drama, online fights, trying to prove themselves, trying to change people's opinions, trying to win battles that don't improve their lives. Meanwhile, truly successful people focus their energy elsewhere. They build, they create, they improve, they grow. While others are distracted by noise, they remain focused on progress. This is the power of strategic inaction, the ability to recognize when doing nothing is actually the smartest move. When someone spreads negativity, you keep moving forward. When someone doubts you, you keep improving. When someone tries to compete with you, you stay focused on your own path. You don't waste energy proving yourself. You invest energy becoming undeniable. That is a completely different mindset, and it changes everything. Because eventually people notice. They notice your calm. They notice your confidence. They notice that you are difficult to provoke, difficult to manipulate, difficult to control. And whether they admit it or not, they respect it. The truth is that most people give away their power one reaction at a time. One argument, one explanation, one emotional outburst, one unnecessary battle, until they are exhausted. But you don't have to live that way. You can choose differently. You can choose what deserves your attention. You can choose what deserves your energy. You can choose what deserves your response. And most importantly, you can choose peace. The next time someone tries to provoke you, the next time someone demands an explanation you don't owe, The next time someone attempts to pull you into emotional chaos, and ask yourself one simple question: does this deserve my power? If the answer is no, walk away, stay silent, protect your energy. Because the strongest people are not the ones who win every argument. They are the ones who know which arguments are not worth having. And once you learn that skill, you become very difficult to control. And when nobody can control your emotions, nobody can control your life. Because the moment you stop giving your power away, people lose the ability to control you. And when nobody can control your emotions, nobody can control your life. That is the true power of ignoring.